New U.S. stimulus bill could come as early as Monday. New U.S. stimulus bill could come as early as Monday. U.S. Senator Mark Warner speaks alongside a bipartisan group of Democrat and Republican members of Congress as they announce a proposal for a COVID relief bill. Copyright Saul Loeb, AFP, Getty. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators will unveil legislation as early as Monday for additional fiscal stimulus worth about $908 billion. In an effort to speed up aid to an economy at risk of a further dip due to a record spike in coronavirus cases. But Mark Warner, one of the Democratic senators leading the 10-strong bipartisan group pushing for the relief money, acknowledged the effort was taking fire from both sides of the aisle over their proposal for a 4-month emergency package. "We may have to go through a few more days of drama," Sen Warner told CNN on Sunday. He added that it remained unclear whether Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would permit the legislation to go forward for a vote, despite expressing positive sentiments about the effort. The proposal includes $288 billion in small business aid, $180 billion in unemployment benefits that would boost weekly payouts by $300, and $160 billion for cash-strapped state and local. It would also offer aid to troubled sectors, including $17 billion for the airline industry. One sticking point remains whether to accord liability protection for businesses that reopened during the pandemic. Prominent progressive Democrats, including Senator Bernie Sanders, have opposed any move to bail out corporations, claiming many have failed to look after workers during the pandemic. They also oppose the deal because it lacks direct payments for the most vulnerable. "That's wrong morally and it's wrong economically," he tweeted on Friday, adding he would not support the legislation unless it were significantly improved. Dick Durbin, another Democratic senator in the bipartisan group, told ABC News on Sunday that such $1,200 direct payment checks would cost an extra $300 billion, however. But he nonetheless urged support for the coming bill, saying 12 million Americans were set to lose their unemployment insurance on December 26. Fears of a faltering U.S. recovery have re-energized stalled bipartisan talks after a weak November jobs report on Friday showed employment growth slowing to a monthly pace of 245,000. There are still 9.8 million fewer Americans with work than in February before the pandemic. The U.S. has also seen a series of record daily highs of coronavirus in the past week, logging 224,831 new cases on Friday. More than 101,000 were in hospital on Friday and Saturday, marking another grisly record, according to the COVID Tracking Project. The daily death toll surpassed 2,500 on Friday for the third day in a row, dipping just below that on Saturday. More than 7,000 remain on ventilator support. Donald Trump, who held his first campaign rally over the weekend since he lost the election, would probably need to approve the deal unless both the House and the Senate pass legislation with a 2/3 majority. Neither the president nor many of his supporters wore masks at the event in Georgia, which has experienced a record number of new cases of COVID-19 in past days. Bill Cassidy, a Republican senator among the bipartisan group pushing for a deal, said he was optimistic both Mr. Trump and Mr. McConnell would come on board. Joe Biden, the president-elect, has expressed support for a deal, although he said on Friday it would be better to include $1,200 direct checks. He said then he thought that may still be in play, although Republicans have dismissed the idea. Mr. Warner said his group planned to hold a multi-hour call later on Sunday to determine final language of the legislation and insisted it was likely to pass if it were given floor time for a vote. "It would be what I call stupidity on steroids if Congress doesn't act," he said on Sunday, arguing neither side would get the full amount or all the components they wanted. Additional reporting by James Polity and Courtney Weaver in Washington.